Okay, so we're talking about the Gemini's rival song, Night to Die, that Dan and I wrote, and we were just about to get into reminiscing and trying to remember the origin story of that song. So, yeah, we were at a party. Take it away, Dan.
So you and I wrote that song at a party. We wrote it all in one night, didn't we?
Yeah, and it's,
You remember it all. I don't think you remember.
I remember it like it was not my life. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, this is cool because back in the day, people would just go to a party and they'd have people playing at the party, and it was
Yeah,
like
like you would go see your friends' bands and local bands and stuff just in a
and just
basement
be at
party.
somebody's house in
Yeah.
basement or something like that. Wasn't that the party where these guys 40 apiece were playing? Do you
Uh,
remember them?
yeah. Oh my gosh.
They were kind of like a funky
That
band,
that's
ska
like,
type.
where
They were
was
pretty
that
cool.
party? Do you remember? Like, I mean, in Waukesha somewhere.
It was in Waukesha. I think the reason we knew them was a guy, Tom Ricker, who was who was a lifeguard with me at the time.
That's right.
And I think we went to that party and we played our stuff, and then we were like decided to like sit down and like play and write. And I think we got almost all of it, and maybe like I added a little bit of the words later. But like
Yeah.
it was cool because we kind of knocked it out in one night. And
It's a long song. It's not
yeah,
it's like a lot going on
yeah.
in that song to just knock out in one fell swoop like that.
I think for the words, I probably had some poetry stuff written already, probably because I did that a lot just
Right.
in the book.
Yeah, it was always happening. You're always capturing stuff. Yeah.
And, and we and we kind of made it all at the same time. And it's cool because it's a song where we it's a call and response song, which is, we don't do it all that often, I guess, but that was one of those neat ones where we really did.
Well, and it was probably the first time we'd ever really done a call and response song that we
Yeah,
wrote
probably.
together, and B, something where it was, I don't know, I just remember being like in the zone while we were writing it, and it was kind of like almost everything else was, even though there was like a party going on and a band playing and whatever else,
Yeah.
and we're like off in this corner like trying to just hear ourselves enough to like mess around with this.
Yeah, isn't that awesome when you can kind of get in a zone and like really do that, like knock out a whole song and that to me was one of the coolest parts of that song, I think.
Yeah. Well, and I kind of remember too. I think like I had like that almost baseline melody thing kind of going, and
Yeah.
I kept just like playing it over and over, and then like we you would play like the chords over that a little bit, and then we kept coming back and forth with the lyrics stuff. Probably based on like you said, some scads of writing that you had just here and there from capturing ideas. And then I think that end lyrical bridge part, where it kind of spits out lyrics a little more faster, a little more faster, a little faster. What is it? My friends and friends of friends ago. That's
Maybe that was
that
that last little bit that I
like
added.
you fleshed it out later. I kind of remember that, but the main verses, call and response, and then the chorus, like the hook, that was all like just kind of fell out, and I don't know. All told, it was probably like what, half hour, an hour, and the whole thing was done.
Yeah, you cut out for a second. Oh, there you're back.
I'm back.
So and 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 we're back. And this song, like it when we first, this is the other thing that's really cool, is when we first recorded this song with Kevin Arndt, you and I just did it, and Kevin just panned one guitar this way, one guitar that way, and it's kind of the vocals are out of tune. Like if someone wants to hear the old one, I'm sure we could put that up. The vocals are slightly out of tune, and what's so funny about it is we were just playing in a room and we were just really feeling it, and it goes starts off fast and it gets super fast and it goes super super. And then
Yeah, the original is on like through our website or on bandcamp.com. You do like Gemini's or bandcamp.com/Gemini's Rival or whatever it is. You can find the original.
and you know, it's just was it was pretty I don't know, it was incomplete, you know, it was not as polished. So this one I'm really happy with because it's so polished. We changed like some harmonies here and there, and what you did with like kind of going high and me going low on that harmony and the hey hey you, that part is super cool now. But it's really just a basic song like we did a lot in the past, just you and me playing.
Oh no, you're freezing. You froze on me.
So so I so I'm glad that we're starting with this song because
I'm not really frozen.
it's very you know, indicative of us. It's a you know, song about like the difficulties of relationships is really what it is. And there's who
Oh,
played it his
froze
wedding
again. You froze again.
at somebody's no. I hope it comes out better than this. There's like a
Oh no, you froze
it,
again. Here, I'm gonna kill my video. Maybe that'll help.
uh
Hello. Any better?
it, do you want to do it? Wait,
No, one take. That's all we get. Um,
you're gonna splice this and edit it?
no, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So like anyway, you said some really good stuff, and then you cut out.
So, well, I was saying that this was played at somebody's wedding because they really liked it. And this guy, Aaron Happy in Montana, was playing it. He like asked, yeah, can I have permission to play it? I'm like, yeah, sure, I can't stop you, really. And he was playing it out and he played it really slow and melodic. And it was very interesting. So I don't know. A lot of people do like the song for what it is. And it's very, it's so us.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was. Yeah, I
You
think
know,
the whole relationship aspect of the lyrical content. Also, too, you have to remember we were what, like 19, 18, 19, 17, 16. I don't remember. We
probably
were probably
18.
17 and 18 because you would have been like
Yeah.
probably or almost 19. You would have almost been 19 and I would have been like 18, somewhere around there. So that being said, sometimes different ideas of relationships than us now as old guys, but the heart of it and the emotion of it is still very, very real and poignant, I think.
I'll be just like in a general response, like I'm surprised at how much all these songs like are still very, very valid. I feel
Yeah, they're
like,
relevant still.
yeah,
Yeah.
very relevant and very valid. They weren't really specific to a certain time, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, there are some things that I think are just by the sort of genre that we would write music in gives it a some of it a 90s early 2000s feel,
Yeah, but
but
that's just the genre. Yeah.
lyrically the content of the lyrics are pretty timeless, because they're specific enough but they're also ambiguous enough that anyone can probably like listen to it and apply it to their own life or their own experiences.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate that type of music. I mean, we're from that age, I guess, but I like the music where it's, you know, it's got a good hook and it's instrumentally driven. It's not really that electronic and you know, not super electronic beats and all that stuff. And I feel like a lot of the music nowadays is, you know, it bothers me. It's
Well, yeah, some of
it
it
bothers
gets
me.
really well, some of it, in my opinion, is really creative with a lot of digital and electronic stuff and digital instruments and whatever else. But because of that, it also has the downside of it can also feel pretty homogenous a lot of times and feel like it's not changing a lot or super original, or it all kind of sounds the same because everybody's using sort of the same basic sounds to create their songs or whatever. And you might be able to say that about real instruments being played as well in terms of the kinds of tones, guitar tones and stuff people choose to use or whatever. However, I think there's always, when you have real instruments, there's always the imperfections that come through that are just part of using real live musicians playing real instruments and essentially, trying to capture the best performance of all that and putting it together in a cohesive song. That is just not easy to do. And I think that's lost on a lot of people these days when there's a lot of digital tools that make it very easy to
make it perfect,
make it very perfect and in tune and on tempo and whatever else at the click of a button really, really quickly. And it's not to say that one's better than the other. It's just an observation, really.
Yeah. Well, and this song in the genre and like what we're trying to do, this is very much like two guys in a room playing the song is what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like like a big band or electronic field, but some of the other ones do. So they're
so stay tuned.
Yeah, so I kept it loose in this one. So
but that's what we were going for. Like with this it's an acoustic song. It's two guys in a room playing and call and response and harmonies, and like it was meant to be, you're hearing this at an intimate venue, like at a party, because that's where it was written. And we probably had a few people around us, or as soon as we were done with it, writing most of it, we were probably like, hey, come over here, listen to this. This is what we just came up with. That was just sort of what those parties were about, really. And it was, I don't know, I miss that aspect of things because I don't think that happens as much for like young people today.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think the patience isn't there either. For me too, patience is not there. Like, so this song is really long too. The song is what, 6 minutes long, something like that.
No, it's like 7 minutes. So the original was like 6 minutes and 20 seconds or something, which was a long song to begin with. But it was a lot shorter than what it is now, which is over 7 minutes, because we actually had a consistent tempo this time. Like we sped up in the original.
We slowed it down and but it made it better, I think. And so it's not like the quick smash it and go home song, but
I think the original started at the same tempo that we more recently recorded it. It's just that the original halfway through it like
sped up. Yeah. So, but I mean, I don't know. It's a great song. I like it. I'm very happy with it. I'm glad that we got back together and did it, man.